Whoa, this is totally not Minecraft. What happened to Minecraft McFriday? And then Minecraft McTuesday? And Minecraft McThursday? You know what? Next week we'll just have all Minecraft week. Delayed. Yo, wake up sheepies. Get your wolf loving us. Yeah. What was it? Chapter 300? Nice. Did you buy the light novel in person? How are you guys doing today on this fine Friday afternoon? I wanted to do some Minecraft. In fact, though, like I did start recently a Forever World, right? I decided like since I can't jump on the server as often because like it's online, I thought it would be good to start a offline Forever World. That way I can play offline. Drawing happened, yeah. Drawing definitely happened. So I'm just gonna be working on some commissions. I'm gonna be inking. I'm gonna be coloring. And I'm just gonna be just mellowing out. Let me go put on something different. I want to listen to some Go. I reinstalled Go again, and I love Go because it's a good way to keep track of time. Give me a second. Where is it? How are you guys doing though? I really want to do Minecraft. I won't lie. I was in that Minecrafty mood. I was like, ooh, yeah, I gotta start that Forever World. And let me tell you, I started mining in today's crafting in my Forever World, and right underneath where I decide to base is a what's it called? What's it called? Not ancient city, but the dark deep. All right, let me go put some music on. I'm still a bit sad. It's not sobbing anymore. Oh, I hope your day gets better then. There we go. I miss listening to this nice relaxing music. But I hope you can just relax, enjoy the rest of your day here. Well, yeah. What better way to keep your mind off things than the yap? Boy, do I know that. Nothing just happened. The volume I had just finished in a sad way. Ah, I see. That makes sense. But that was like something bad, but that's still good. That's just a happy sadness, It's like when you get immersed in a story and you just can't help but feel bad. But I've been seeing a lot of tours of people's like Minecraft worlds, and it just kind of makes me like jealous that I never really started early. Especially the ones where they show like what's the earlier beta version, like 1.7 or something like that, where they show like the earlier version of Minecraft, and like it's such a aesthetically pleasing looking thing, and I really want to just start my own, right? Start building something. And like I know like people say like you should build a story and you should build like world building and all that stuff. But I kind of just want to build. It's just like whatever I feel like I want to build, I'll build, I guess I see it more as a sandbox more than storytelling, right? I could make it so like each town are like, storytelling. It's like, oh, this is a town of miners and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think it's just fun to just build and like make fun ideas. Like I'm thinking of like an area where I build to bedrock, and then I just like put some lava pits everywhere in the bedrock, like the little bedrock gaps. I think that'd be really cute. Like there's no lore to it, it's just there, just to look cool. The extra chapter felt like a dagger to my chest, but it's good. That's good to hear. I mean, not the dagger to your chest stuff, but that's good that you're enjoying it. Alright, so we're going to be working on commissions as per usual. It is a Friday, McDudes. It's McFriday. It's Alin McFridays. Remember to hydrate? Yeah, remember to hydrate. I think I need to hydrate more. I did drink some water before stream, but I think I'm gonna drink some more water. I forgot to fill my water bottle though. Cried because the novel I was reading. Some other things are fine though. That's good to hear at least. I think crying over a novel is a good problem to have, really. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn on the music for you guys. Oh, you guys can hear the music. Can we like put Inacam here? Can we have like Inacam on the bottom left? Let me see. How does this work? Okay, cool. Does this work? If I did this, yeah, there she is. We have a tiny little Inacam. Where should we put her? We'll put her on the bottom left. Inacam vision. Wow. There you go. Now we're getting fancy. 2 artists on deck right now. There you go. It was just a tragic character, and they had quite a sad ending, while the extra chapter was a flashback to an earlier point in time. Interesting. You're still talking about Mushoku? What volume are you on in Mushoku now? Oh, let me move this. It's actually in the way of my coloring. We should set a timer. Might as well. Let's set timers. That way we could be productive. I've been using this for a timer, and I think having a Pomodoro timer is really good, especially when you're not really good at staying on task. Having a Pomodoro timer to tell you that you should get back on task is a good way to kind of work. Speaking of which, though, let me go check really quick before anything else. Did my item get delivered? I ordered something. I didn't order the Digimon thing though. Like, I was really weighing over if I should buy the Digimon thing, but I decided in the end not to buy the Digimon thing and instead get a Tamagotchi. So, because the Tamagotchi is so much cheaper, and I heard the Paradise one, the Tamagotchi Paradise, is actually a pretty good series. People say that like if you like Digimon and the way that you can evolve Digimon to different forms, then you'll like the Tamagotchi. So I thought I'd give that a try, Tamagotchi Paradise. And I heard that it was pretty low maintenance, because that's one thing I liked about the Digimon. Like, I like how low maintenance they are, so I could just do them while drawing, and then when I take a break, I could use it. Volume 19 was very bittersweet. Ah, I see. I see. He has become a senior citizen. Following his whole life. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I've seen like some of the stuff for it, and while I don't really care for any specific Tamagotchi, because I actually never really grew up on Tamagotchi. I grew up on Digimon, and that's why I'm willing to spend the money on the devices, because I love Digimon. But you know what? I don't think it's ever too late to get Tamagotchi. Granted, I do have a Tamagotchi Connect, but it was during the time when I was getting burned out from devices. I was tempted to just like restart my Tamagotchi Connect and just like try to experience it once again. But I decided maybe I should instead like get a Tamagotchi Paradise and try that out. Quite sad that Volume 19 will only be Season 4. Dang, they go through the volumes really fast. Season 4 and 19 volumes? Dang. So that's like 5 volumes each. How far is the manga, actually? Is the manga still like in production? Like, how far did the volume get, or the manga get in terms of volumes? Let's see. I think the manga just got to volume 13. Oh, I see. So basically, it's about on par to where you are now. Okay, something like this. Maybe 14? Interesting. I hope they're still translating the manga. I'm sure they are, right? Considering how Mushoku just came out with an anime. Speaking of which, Offkai is just today, actually. There's another con going on right now, and I've been seeing all the big VTubers and my clients also going to Offkai, and I'm disgusted. I really want to go. I really want to join. I want to also go to Offkai. X-rank supporting roles replay. What? X-rank supporting roles replay in a prestigious school or something like that was the novel. Interesting. That's a very elaborate title, but I think that's the fun part about light novels. I'm kind of curious what kind of things do they do in Offkai. Maybe one day, like maybe if I become a more prestigious artist, maybe I could have my own panel in Offkai talking about being a V artist. My advice to being a V artist. Big dream goals. He's so delusional, guys. He's drinking the Halulu, the Delulu. Probably less fun than it seems. I mean, technically, I've always had fun in cons. I've been to several cons. Just the idea of being around people who like the stuff that you do, and then walking around to every area and seeing all the cool things that are on offer, and then the different booths. Especially the panels. I learned a lot from panels. I went to a couple anime expo, and I like the panels that, like, you know, are deeply into what I'm into. The one that I really liked too was the Studio Trigger one. I managed to get into the Studio Trigger one, and I got to see the artists like draw in real time, and they were just talking about, I think during the time they were talking about Little Witch Academia, because it was during the time when Little Witch Academia was getting an anime and wasn't like a short series anymore. What about Onkai? That's a good question. Offkai is just a rip-off of Offtask. But yeah, I always have fun. And I love going to the artist alley too, seeing all the different art that people have make. It's just very inspiring. Honestly, whenever I go to an expo or con, I just get 100% motivated. I get it's not for everyone too, like especially if you're not into like big crowds like that. But I think there's a lot of things going there for me because, you know, as an artist, I get inspired by Artist Alley, getting to see a lot of different interests in my own field, right? It'll be really cool. I really wanted to go to Anime Expo one day too, but I guess I wasn't able to go this year. Nice Minecraft you got there. I know. Did you see the word said delayed? You're on Go as well right now? Yeah. In fact, can I invite you guys into my room? I know that's a thing that people have done where you gotta have people go into your Go room, right? Like, I wonder if I could do it so, like, I have a Go room and then you guys can draw, or you guys could just, like, dig around there. I know there's, like, video watching together or something like that. We could join? Really? How does it work, though? You guys can't, like, post anything bad, can you? You guys can't, like, adjust my room, can you? Just play it in the background? I know there's, like, a watch-along with Go, but I don't know how to do that, really. Maybe in the future. We'll have to see. I'll have to look at what you guys could do. I gotta do some research on it. I never really thought of it, but that'd be a really good, cool feature. The cool thing, too, is that I can make, like, a little, what's it called? A to-do list to make sure that I stay on task. There we go. Music in Go is really good too. I do have the Hatsune Miku music, but they said that you can't play the Hatsune Miku music on stream. Hehe, on task. Hehe. Immediately redecorate Sal's room. Yeah, I gotta make sure you guys can't do that. It could be funny, but at the same time. Besides, this is not like, this is actually the... I never got around to actually making my own room, so this is just actually the stock room. I tried to make my own room, but I realized that it takes a while to make something look nice. But I wanted to make something that looks like a little homely office. Maybe in the future we can make like a little area that we can all like go into whenever I do art commissions, right? We'll see. We'll see. It's just some ideas. There we go. Now, yeah, we were talking about Offkai. Anyone here going to Offkai this year? I know Offkai is in San Jose, which is next to San Francisco. So I don't know if we have any California boys. Sort of making my room. It's been a while though since I opened this. Yeah, I feel that. I haven't opened this since the beginning of the year, but because I'm starting to catch up on things, I'm able to start opening it now and just like get back to work. I don't know what that is. It's a con. Offkai is an expo for VTubing stuff, if I remember correctly. I think it's a primarily VTubing expo. Could be wrong though. I don't have money to travel. Oh, I feel that. I feel that. Starting to catch up. Yeah! So now that I'm starting to like become a person again and no longer dependent. Well, I guess not dependent. No longer being dependent on. I'm able to like become my own self again. I won't be going. It's like another continent. I don't have money. That makes sense. That makes sense. Honestly, it's convenient that I live in California since we have so much expos here, but I really need to take advantage of that before I get priced out of living expenses. But I'm gonna just keep trying to catch up. That way I can start doing merch stuff. And that way I can start doing Minecraft without feeling guilty. Jeez. There we go. Once I'm caught up, we'll see how it goes from there. Okay. Patiently waiting for you to get to mine. Yeah. The thing is too, like, I can actually deliver really fast, and I think some of you guys noticed that, like, sometimes I get to your commission like 2 or 3 days before the deadline, and I give you the sketch, and as soon as your sketch is done, I get it finished within like the next few days. So if my comms were kind of clear, I guess I could do like offer the service of very quick delivery. Like super quick delivery, 100% rate. Like maybe regular commissions will get back to being 2 to 4 weeks on delivery rate. And like rush commissions will be super fast. 15 minutes quickly, yeah. I can't do 15 minutes quickly though. Unless you have like nothing on it. There's literally nothing on there. Alright. What was the game that she wanted? FNAF? It was FNAF Into the Pit. Looking at the setting, you can restrict who can draw and who can chat. Thing is though, like, what do you mean by who can draw? Because like, don't you need to like show your screen in order for it to have a drawing area? A singular line art, you're right. Give me a second to pull up a reference. Not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. Here we go. Still never gonna play FNAF, guys. Sorry to say. Never gonna play FNAF ever. You put a canvas and people can draw in there. Interesting. That could be pretty fun. And I wonder if we could like save a picture of it and like post it on the wall. And every time we could just keep adding to it. And we could just like make a wall full of canvases. Hey guys, MatPat here. Is that what MatPat says? I don't know. I actually never seen MatPat. But I know he's the Five Nights at Freddy guy who talks a lot on Five Nights at Freddy. Hey guys, MatPat here. I did one of the challenges left, Almond Streak. Oh, how many challenges do you have left? I think with my own Minecraft world that I started, I'm going to try to get all the advancement. Oh yeah, for those who weren't here, I decided, since I've been offline a lot, like, maybe it would be a good idea for me to start a offline forever world. So, I started it the other day, and I got to... I got started with the mining, and I came across, like, the deep dark under where I am. It doesn't encroach upwards, right? The deep dark does not encroach upwards, does it? To the point where it's, like, takes over my base? I forgot how the deep dark works. You mine, but did you craft? No, actually, I've been just mining. I've been just mining the whole time. Because I'm kind of scared to have the deep dark underneath my base, but I don't think it affects anything. Without being unlocked anymore. I see. I think it blocks enemy spawns. Well, I meant for the what's it called? Does it encroach upwards, the skulk, and eventually emerge onto the surface? Because I thought that was something it does. Sort of like the infection in Terraria. I could be wrong though. I was thinking like whenever I'm in the area, it'll just keep encroaching upwards. I mean, that'd be a pretty cool mechanic to make it sort of like Terraria, where the corruption eventually like encroaches into the world. Only when things die. So it won't like just like go upwards then, right? On its own. Like even if there's say there's like a bunch of like, I don't know, skeleton and zombies right next to the catalyst and it just keeps dying. They're like, we gotta get up to the surface. It's not just gonna be like they're jumping into the catalyst to send it upwards. Unless you force it, I see. I was thinking about on our server though, having a skulk farm. Because with skulks, or whatever it's called, the skulk blocks, you use it to make XP candy, right? You just need honeycombs and skulk blocks. And you could use it to make a bunch of XP candy, which we could use to level up quickly. And I have an idea, right? So apparently you guys told me that you need to break skulk blocks. So in order to kill it, or you have to kill enemies in order to make skulk blocks. I don't know, right? But I was thinking like we could have a cage, right? We could have a cage like this, and then we could put a bunch of chickens in there, and the cage just goes all the way downward. And underneath it, we could have like this cobblestone generator that pistons outwards all the way 10 blocks there, and we could have it afterwards piston upwards 10 blocks, right? So that way when we kill a chicken or whatever's in there for skulk, and we mine out this bottom area, it'll push everything up one, and we'll always have like material for skulk. Pretty genius. Or we can set NPCs for XP. I could, but I think this is a funnier machine than anything else. It's a funnier machine than we ever had. Oh wait, wrong one. That's the one I'm going to be working on next. Pretty good idea, right? We'll have unlimited skulk. We don't have to worry about skulk ever again. Out here skimming? Yeah, my big brain ideas are pretty good. And then like the thing is the chickens can't get out because there's an iron cage going all the way down, right? And I don't think iron cages can get skulk. I could be wrong, but like I'm pretty sure the only thing that could be turned into skulk is full blocks, right? Same with walls, right? We could just put in a wall and that should make it so that the skulk doesn't get out. Hypothetically. Hypothetically. But yeah, that's my big brain strategy once I get to it. I think this guy has flat teeth on the outside and sharp teeth on the inside. Time to set it up at Alan's base. I was actually considering like actually just opening up my base. You know what? I don't want to be a hermit anymore. I was thinking about being a hermit, but you know what? I think I'm gonna like expose my base to the world. I'm just gonna open up the top and you guys can come in and out and I'll connect the trolley there. I don't know if I'll have the warp stone. Maybe I should. Maybe I should have the warp stone. I thought about it, but as long as you guys just don't add items to my stuff, right? Please don't expose myself. check under your chair. But yeah, I was thinking about it. I was thinking like maybe I don't need to become the hermit that I think I am. Maybe the days of Lone Wolf Laphel is over, and the days of Sheepy Laphel is now. It's time for that herd mentality, chat. Come here. I was lucky, got a placenta, which gives HP, regen, minute. I could sacrifice in the room, donates machine. What? I used to watch a lot of the Binding of Isaac playthrough by, I don't know what his name was, but he used to finger gun like chat whenever he wins the game. He pulls like a cheese nip out of his beard. I don't think that guy's still streaming anymore, but he used to be pretty popular back then when Binding of Isaac was really popular. I don't know what his name was. He looked like Captain, what's his name? Captain Disrespect? Except that he never got into the same controversy as Captain Disrespect. But he was like part of the reason why Binding of Isaac was so popular in what's it called? Twitch, right? You can't teleport to shops anymore? Is that his name? Bisnap? Huh. But he got tired of doing just Binding of Isaac runs. Twitch? Bisnap? No, I don't think it's Bisnap. Like he had a bunch of beard. He had a really big beard, right? In fact, for a while he never had a beard, but then like he decided to grow it out, and then he ended up like just keeping the beard, sort of like Penguin Zero. Unless with the card, you can't do that. You aren't the hermit anymore card anymore. Interesting. But yeah, he was pretty popular. Just like someone else, I think their name is like Michael99, 1999, and they used to be playing a lot of I Want to Be the Guy, or I Want to Be the Boshi. Not Northland? No. I don't know what his name was, but it's not like a big guy nowadays or a big name person, but they were pretty big during the time. Same with like Michael1999. I think they were a German YouTuber, and they played the game called I Want to Be the Boshi. And he was really known for it because he does a lot of bullshit runs, right? There's like a lot of people I used to watch on Twitch for a lot of different things. But it was a joke because Alan isn't a hermit. Yeah, no longer hermit! So I'm gonna like open up the roof to my my area. I'm just gonna break open the dirt and the stone, and you guys are gonna see it. In fact, I'm gonna just like make my place look really, really nice, you know? I have an idea of what I kind of want to do, thinking about it, right? And I can look at the Okie Dokie. Here's a hint to where I am. You know where I caught that Okie Dokie? I'm just across the lake. I'm literally just across the lake. But I think it'll be nice. I think it'll be nice. Isn't this just like Hermitcraft? I need to watch more Hermitcraft. Like, I've been really like getting to the idea of doing more Minecraft vanilla builds. Not like using a bunch of like blocks from outside of vanilla, but also just like building vanilla style and making like just builds, you know? I heard Hermitcraft is like a fun like collection of videos showing just basically mostly vanilla. I heard they have some things that aren't vanilla, like some of the data packs they put in there, but some of it is just for fun, like a data pack to change the horn sounds to recordings of people's voices. But yeah, I gotta give it a try. Gotta check it out. It would be nice to do something like that. I really do want to join like a long-term kind of Minecraft SMP for VTubers. I know VTcraft is in the middle of doing something, so that could be interesting. But maybe I should join more. Maybe it's time for me to spread my wings and become the Minecraft VTuber I've always needed to be. Hey guys, it's me, Alin Laphel, in Minecraft. I mean, you would have to play very regularly to be in Hermitcraft. I guess that makes sense. But I wonder if, like, for regular servers... That's why, like, the thing is... At first I thought, like, it's kind of silly to have a seasonal server, but then thinking about it, I think it does help because then that reset kind of helps players, you know. I guess the hard thing, though, with it is that I don't get to play as often, and I fall behind really, really fast compared to other players. But I wouldn't mind, like, doing some sort of build, even if it's just like a forever world. Or contributing to the world in one way or another. I want to try that civilization stuff, though. I've seen people having fun with the civilization things in Minecraft. That looks like fun. I wouldn't mind hosting one myself if I knew how to host it. There's just so much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back street? You never know if you don't glow. Never know if you don't go. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your show on. Get paid and all that glitter is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Hey now. I love that song. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Doesn't matter if others have fun. It matters whether you'll have fun with it. And that's not as easy to predict. I don't know about that. I mean, like, there's only like a few things that would hinder my fun. And I doubt other people would affect that much, considering I already do the Minecraft server. The only thing I would say, though, is I want to collect the material myself. I really feel bad for taking freebies. But as long as I get to do that, then I'm good. Because it feels much more accomplishing when you make something with your own two hands, rather than just, like, receiving all the materials. It makes sense for, like, server projects on a server, but I think if I'm going to build my house, I want it to be all handmade by my hands. But yeah, I gotta try joining some other servers. I would love to join the Pokemon Academy server, the one that's focused on Cobblemon. That'd be really fun. But I have no idea how I would even get an invite. I imagine you have to be really popular to join the VTuber Poke Academy. That one looks like fun. I need to get bigger, chat. I need to go twice the size. 3 times the size of the world. Or what's it called? What did Todd Howard say when it came to Fallout? 4 times the size. Todd, we can't do that. We're already at our limits. 20 times the detail. More caves, yes. More caves. You see that mountain? You can climb that mountain. 7 times the detail, yeah. 16 times the... Fallout 76 was a gem of its time. A quest around every corner. That is sad though. They haven't really done anything related to Fallout or Skyrim. Or not Skyrim, Elder Scroll. Especially like since Fallout 76 still exists. Oh, I guess it's time for a 5-minute break. No 5-minute breaks. There's no break times on our stream. But yeah, like Fallout 76 been existing longer than Destiny at this point, but it's kind of crazy because like I wonder if the reason they don't make any new Fallout games is because Fallout 76 still exists. Because I feel like we're super overdue for another Fallout game. It's a live service game, but that's not like Elder Scrolls. That's in an MMO setting. And the thing is, when a game is set to the MMO setting, it's built different, right? You can't necessarily do all the content by yourself. You have to rely on other players, which isn't bad per se, but it creates a different mood. And then there's a whole idea of like gear chasing, right? Which I'm kind of glad that Final Fantasy XIV is not emphasizing the gear chase, because the only reason you want to do the gear chase is like if you want to do endgame content. But a lot of Final Fantasy XIV is just focused on the world between like different things you could do. But I know like World of Warcraft has really cool gear, so that's why you want to gear chase. Like I know when I was playing oh, my camera's slack. I know when I played Classic, my friend was telling me about all the different gears you could get from the endgame raid, and they actually change your whole kit kind of in a way. Like they have special effects that really makes it so some skills are more useful than they used to be, right? So that's why, like in those kind of games, I think the gear chasing is like, you know, important. But in a game like Final Fantasy XIV where there's stat sticks, yeah. The only reason you'll chase the gear is if you want to do endgame raid, like Ultimates or Savage. But yeah, that's why I think like Elder Scrolls is gonna struggle with something like that, because like in the main Minecraft, in the main like Elder Scrolls games, there was cool gear to collect, but most of the game was kind of focused on the story and leveling up, right? I want a daily run. Oh, nice. Now I have to wait and watch the easier ones to win more and unlock an item. Nice. There you go. That came out pretty well. But yeah, it would be nice if, you know, Todd Howard gets back to actually making games of Fallout and Elder Scroll. It's even crazier to know that like Elder Scroll is not even close to being done despite all the years it's been announced. They announced it way too early. Same with like Fallout. Like Fallout does not have any announcement of a game, but Fallout 76 just keeps getting more and more things in it. But the thing is, Fallout 76 suffers the same problem. You're more focused on that gear chase than you are on the actual gameplay. You know what I mean? Which is a shame. And I know they are adding more storyline elements to Fallout, but the one thing I don't like about live service games, and this applies to like literally everything from gachas to MMOs, is that the story is ever going, right? And it doesn't feel like there's a endpoint in sight. I mean, there's temporary ends, but at the same time, like the story just keeps on going. And this can be both good and bad, because it means like you can stay in the world forever, right? You could keep staying in the world, but it also means that like there's like huge gaps in between story beats. I'm always bothered with it, like in Final Fantasy XIV, especially the post main scenario. Whenever you're waiting for the next patch, you have like all this cool elements, right? But then suddenly you hit a wall because it's like, oh, the next story is going to be released in this update. And I like to binge my stuff sometimes rather than waiting for it, you know? And sometimes too is like it becomes like a double-edged sword, because like sometimes the wait makes it so like you have higher expectations for what to happen. So, and I feel that same thing with Fallout 76, because like a lot of the stories are like gapped. So there's like, you know, a bunch of stuff that happens, or a lot of stuff in between waiting for stories to happen. At least Fallout or Final Fantasy XIV has like the main story scenario. Literally reading all of Mushoku, yeah. Yes, that's what I like to do with like media. I don't like to have the gap like, oh, you have to wait till next week for the next episode. I mean, I did that a lot when I was younger, but now that I'm older, it's like I don't I don't like that. I get why they do it, but at the same time, yeah. Because like imagine if you were reading Mushoku and you were reading Mushoku on release schedule. So every time you finish a volume, you have to wait till the next chapter or the next volume. Sometimes too, it feels like some mangas are forever mangas where the story just keeps going and going. Sometimes I feel that. And then sometimes too, they just never get an ending because like they're never translated or the what's it called? They're never translated or the story ends up like getting dropped. So you never actually get to see the full ending. I'm waiting for the volume. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And I get why, but at the same time, it would be nice to have like a complete series. That's why, like, especially with like Star Rail, I enjoyed the story of Star Rail for a while, especially Peony. Like, I didn't really care for the Oriental area, like the Chinese area in there. But when we got to Peony, it was really cool. But it felt like Peony was one very drawn out, and two, it felt like I kept on waiting for new parts to happen. Especially like the post main scenario quest, just like Final Fantasy XIV. But it is what it is. I get why they do it. Like I have an understanding as to why that's the case. But it would be nice. Plays the Chinese game, doesn't like the Chinese area. You know what's funny though? I feel the same way with like the Shogun Japanese style and the Chinese style. I mean, they're really cool and they're aesthetically pleasing. But in Genshin, Star Rail, and ZZZ, I don't know as much ZZZ. I haven't played it, but I feel like there is an Oriental area. Whenever I see the Oriental areas there, it's kind of exhausting comparatively, I guess, because it feels like they're the same area as in the other games. I like to see the more creative one, the unique ones. Like I really like Fontaine and Genshin Impact. That place was really beautiful, right? But I also like Peony. I like the idea of dreams. But like when we go to like the one in Star Rail, like the Chinese area, I mean it was really unique that it was like basically the trading hub and basically all the ships go there. But the area looks very similar to like what it looked like in Genshin, which was also a trading hub now that I think about it. I don't know what it's like in ZZZ, but I imagine ZZZ also has the Oriental area. I bring the flower of friendship. Hey there, Netsoso, how are you doing? Something about the Hoyo games and their obligatory Chinese area, and I get why, because they're a Chinese company, but it always feels like their Chinese area feels incredibly samey. It would be really cool if they had a fun spin on it. I'm the good. I'm how and yeah, I'm okay. I was just talking about Offkai earlier. It would be really cool to go to Offkai. China has a lot of nationalism. That makes sense. That makes sense. And I imagine like it's sort of like how America likes to stuff America into like its media. Puts American flag on stream. America. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Eagle screeches. Caw, caw! I should have been an American VTuber. Oh man, I am an American VTuber. Scaffold. I don't have any water on me actually. And we could have like whenever the redeem happens, it could be just Eagle Screech. Do you think there's a like Asian VTuber like in Japan or Korea or China that's like a Westaboo and they do English streams because they like it, sort of like how we always like emulate Japanese things on our side? It would be kind of cute to see a like Japanese VTuber speak broken English and like be all about America. They could be an eagle VTuber and they could have like the whatever they donate, it'll be like the eagle screeching of freedom, and then a flag comes up, an American flag. Japanese cowgirl VTuber type, yeah. There's a reason we insisted to change it to Scamdray. I'm sorry. I drank some water before stream, but yeah, I didn't drink any water during stream. Cute emote, yeah. Very cute. one of the Hololive girls did an English stream. They did, but they weren't like fully American, right? They were like half American. Besides, like, I feel like there's a difference between English and America. America is its own English. Gah! This makes me think of the dummy in 100 Girlfriend that pretends to be American. Oh, are we talking about that girl? I've seen some clips of her. The one that has like the cowboy hat and she speaks. I forgot what she does, but I saw like clips of her and I thought it was a really cute American girl. I am American. As an Asian, I'm allowed to do that without any repercussions, chat. So please say like, Alan, you're being offensive. I'm Asian, guys! I had to repeat that just to make sure I cover my grounds. It's like way more than you imagine for nationalism or what? No, I feel like it's super intense because I know like you get in trouble for wrong think in China. I heard about that. Stop being offensive to aliens? No! How dare you call us aliens? You should be banned for your speech. We are racist. Honestly though, a lot of Asians are very racist, right? Well, so since I'm Asian, I actually understand my native language, right? Because I grew up in a house where Mama sheep and Papa sheep would speak in their home tongue, and I picked up on a lot of the language and I could like literally understand it. And whenever I see another Asian of my race in the wild, they often talk really bad about the people around them, and sometimes to the point of like fully offensive racism. It's crazy. It's crazy how much they get away with just by speaking a different language. I'm like too, like sometimes I'm in a restaurant, I'm just eating, and in like the booth next to me, they're talking about like how ugly the waitress is and how like how fat her butt is and how like nobody would ever like her. I was like, whoa guys, I didn't say anything. There's unoffensive racism. I mean like there's, I guess you could say like people who joke about racism can be unoffensive, but I guess that's still technically offensive. But yeah. It's sort of like when a comedian goes on stage and they talk a lot about people their own race. There are racist people of any race, just some are more racist. But yeah, it's crazy. Do people know how racist most countries are? Yeah, their countries are very racist. That's the thing, especially like at least like the Asian country I come from. Well, I didn't come from there. It's more like my ethnicity. But yeah, I just find it funny because I hear it all the time without fail, like clockwork. It's crazy. So where are you from? Check under your chair. Yeah, the thing is too, I think it's more openly easy to be racist in another country for some Asians. Don't worry, chat. I'm not racist, though. No way, pipe bomb! Yeah! I'm not racist. I just hate everybody equally. Hehe. Hehe, pero. Hehe. Hehe, pero. Hehe. Can't be racist if I hate everyone. That's interesting. I just think it's interesting. You guys should pick up another language. That way you can also understand people who are speaking it. I thought you didn't hate us? No, I don't hate you guys. Not you guys. You guys aren't a race. You guys are sheeps. That's a different thing. Trying to learn Japanese? Yeah. Japanese is a fun language. I want to learn it just for video games though, and I feel bad for that premise. I should learn it for something more cultural. Though I do like, what's it called? I do want to visit Japan on a cultural visit. Because I've always seen like the cool buildings in Kyoto and stuff like that. I always want to see like them in person. I also want to like visit the Great Wall. like a lot of places in Asia I really want to go to. There's like so much sights to see there. That one like animal containment thing in Singapore looks pretty cool too. We're in Osaka and Tokyo next year. If you wanna come, put me in your suitcase. I can fit. Thing is, I was thinking about it. Like, if I'm gonna go on a vacation, it has to be a vacation that I can still work. Unless I finally like get my commissions in order, then I don't have to do so. But yeah. But I think like even if I'm on vacation, I want to do like some sort of like content out of it. Like talk about like what I did in say Singapore or Korea or Japan or Indonesia. Is Indonesia like a collection of islands, or is it one country? The Indonesian area, the archipelago, India, Taiwan. Visit Micronesia? Okay, are we making things up? I feel like that's not a real word. You guys know that I'm very susceptible to being stupid. Good. It's a real cunt. I like how you put it like that. Okay, let me see. What's a Micronesia? That was a horrible typo, I know. Pompeii! Ooh, I always want to visit Pompeii. Pompeii sounds like a really cool place to be. Oh yeah, so Micronesia is like the smaller islands next to the Indonesia area? Did we really call it Micronesia though? Polynesia? What's the Polynesia? Melanesia? Interesting. I never realized how much small islands there are down here. That's interesting too, because like whenever you look at a globe, you always see like the overall big ones, right? Like say Japan, China, Philippines, Singapore, all that stuff. But you never really see these smaller islands. Without a passport. That doesn't sound safe. Check out the Rammies. Hey Kiko, I'm looking at them. Yon says yay. I don't know if I want to visit a country that doesn't ask for a passport. That seems a little etchy, sketchy, one-touchy. It's US territory? Oh, is it? I thought Guam was in, Wait, is Guam the next to the Puerto Rico area? I don't know my continents. Been a minute. I'm sorry. No need to apologize. Never apologize, chat. There's zero reasons to apologize. How you doing, Kiko? But yeah, I don't know my countries as much as I think I do. We're just talking about a bunch of stuff. Doing good. That's good to hear. We were talking about Offkai and how I really want to go to Offkai. As a Californian VTuber in virtual California, I really wanted to go Offkai. How about you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm getting things done. Probably gonna get some stuff from Walmart after stream. And get more things done. I started my Minecraft Forever World too. Never felt the need to travel. I think it depends. I think it's one of those things that like my need from travel really just like came from like seeing those travel videos and anime because it looks like it'd be really fun to kind of visit somewhere new, take in the culture, the food especially. Oh man, that's like my thing I really love about like traveling is trying out the foods in the country. And it's really sad too because like when I went to travel with some family, they're a little more picky with what they eat. So I can't really like just say like, ooh, I want to try this restaurant because it sounds exotic. I would want to is to visit important people. That makes sense. Yeah, for me, I would definitely just travel for fun. Of course, it's really expensive. Do policy, but not because of anything else. Huh? Shit, policy? What does that mean? Be forced to do... Wait, forced to travel because of policies? Is that a thing? I want to go to Italy and Ireland. What's the place that has the boats? Venice. Croissant. I want to visit Venice for sure. That one sounds fun. I know like Las Vegas has its own like little part of Venice. That's like basically a little waterway thing, but it was like the cheaper version. It's like we have our own Venice here at home. Like a law that becomes that bad that I have to leave. I don't think we'll ever get to that, hopefully. Poor people to me, I mean like friends. Aww. Yeah, alright chat, we're going to an expo. We're going to a con right now. We're going to Offkai. Time to go to San Jose. Omen? But I can't do that anymore. I don't know where Omen is, but it sounds cool. There we go. Catch that in there. Offkai, woo, yeah, let's go, chat. I'll have my booth. We're gonna sell all kinds of like figurines and stuff. Yeah, woo, yeah, guys, it's time to go to Expo, yay! There we go. I would love to visit Comic-Con too. Like, if I could before I expire from this world, I would love to visit Comic-Con. I heard it's like super congested, but it like the things you could buy there is really nice. And the thing is too, is pretty cheap. Like compared to like Artist Alley over here, they sell things for really cheap there. So I would love to go visit one day. It would be nice to sell at a Comic-Con, but I feel like it's so hard for a foreigner to probably sell something in Comic-Con. Plus, I think Comic-Con lately has been like really popular with Blue Archive. So maybe if I make like Blue Archive dojins and like merchandise, maybe I could get to. Well, maybe not merchandise. I think Comic-Con, or not Comic-Con, Comic-Con is only for fan stuff. Always get stuff. Oh, some people on the server go to. Oh, that's really cool. I'm really jealous. All right, chat. It's time for me to make a Blue Archive dojin. That way, I can find my way into Comic-Con. Which character should I draw a dojin of? My Blue Archive fans. I was wondering why you said Comic-Con. Yeah, Comic-Con and Comic-Con are very similar. Embrace is the cute and funny. No, we could draw like, I mean, we could, but we could also draw like Aru or Yuka. You guys like Yuka? You guys like Yuka? What about Rio? You guys like Butsuki? Midori? You guys like Arisu? K? Oh, I gotta draw some K dojins. That way I can make my way into Comic-Con. This is it. I'm committing my life. My next mission after selling physical stuff is to make it into Comic-Con. Comic-Con. I could always try to go there as a cosplayer though. Maybe I should cosplay. It's either I make dojins or I make cosplay. One or the other. There's a lot of choices, but it ultimately has to be the one you like. So, Arisu? Cosplay Rice Shower? Arisu? I mean, I like Yuka. I also like Aru, so I would make it of them, I suppose. Yuka's very cute. I would kill for Yuka. Strangle. In Minecraft, of course, guys. Minecraft. I feel like sometimes you guys don't think that I'm just talking about Minecraft. You guys think I will actually kill you outside of Minecraft. But let me tell you, chat. There we go. We'll get this set up. I'm telling you though, it would be really fun if we had like a VR chat Comic-Con thing going on. It would be really cool if something like that existed. I know they have like the summer sale stuff on VR chat, but it'd be really cool if we could just turn part of Comic-Con into an online thing. In fact, I think we're approaching Comic-Con season soon. It is summer. You would kill for your 100 kilo wife? Yes. Just for her to kill me. She's very cute. I don't know. Something about Yuka just reminds me of Remy, and I like Remy. Oh, 1 second. I should type for something for this. Is wife for real? Yeah. People will like look at her and be like, wife. It's like that meme. Like people will look at this picture and say wife immediately. Maybe I should. I'm starting to think that maybe I don't normally like do this, but I don't normally like put pronouns or anything on my stuff because usually I'm not really bothered by my pronouns. But I notice like people are calling me a she on VGen sometimes. I think I need to let people know that I'm actually a him. It doesn't really like super bother me, right? But I feel kind of bad because like then they'll like realize that they've been saying it wrong this whole time. No, you're a sheep. You're right. I'm a sheep. Sheep. I don't mean to like be very guessy about my pronoun stuff, but it's very straightforward for me. I'm just a guy. I'm just a little guy. There you go. He's just a little guy. He's just a kid, and life is a nightmare. He's just a kid. One day, chat, they'll find out that I'm not actually a she or a girl. And against your popular belief, I'm not even a femboy. This is maybe full black. Hey, Kobe. You could also make less direct reminders by mentioning you are a guy directly. Good, I could. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but I just feel bad because like some people get like some people get a like apologetic when they realize that they've been calling me the wrong pronoun. I just think it's funny. There you go. Alan's a sheep? Yeah. Just like Essie. Do you think if I made guesses about the World Cup, I would also figure out who's the winner, who's the loser? Put a sign up pointing at you saying guy? I could do that. Femboy. It's starting to get hot. Let me go turn on my fan. Probably because some people go into the weird traumas about when getting called the wrong pronouns. Yeah. I get that. I get it, but at the same time, it doesn't bother me at all. I think everyone has their own different thing that they do, so for me, it's just, you know, it is what it is. Wait a second, let me go check my something on my VGen. Was there some body cam thing where someone was going insane about it? Really? That's crazy. Woo-woo. I don't know. I haven't seen much body cam stuff, so I can't say for sure. But I get why they get angry, but at the same time, I think the people who get the most angry are not as empathetic in a way. Like, I get it if someone's doing it to offend you, right? And it's pretty obvious when someone's trying to do it to offend you. But it's very easy to make mistakes people's pronouns. Heck, sometimes like people mistake mine, like not my pronouns, but my age. So I imagine like people could get their pronouns really mistaken really easily. People keep thinking I'm like 18 or something. It's kind of flattering though. Like sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, are you still in high school?" I'm like, "Oh no, he ha, ha. I'm old." I'm old. The 80-year-old sheep, yeah. When I go to off guy and people see me, they'll be like, "Wow, you look so young." I'm old. That's the thing too. Okay, you know how like mothers are when they try to hook you up with somebody like the waitress or something, right? So I was eating some dinner with Mama Sheep, right? And it was just like a normal dinner. We made our order, all that stuff. And she was talking about like, oh, that waitress is cute, right? I was like, yeah, I guess she's cute. And then like she was telling the waitress like, oh, if you don't have a boyfriend, my son is available. I'm like, ugh. And then like the girl said, oh yeah, like well, Mama Sheep asked like how old she was. She said she was 18. I was like, not because like, you know, like 18 blah blah blah. It's more like I'm not to say that I'm old or anything. But she is much young, not much younger. Use it as a way to start problems with moral justification? Wait, what? Like trying to get people hooked up? Alin, ... I'm not old! I'm not! But 18-year-old is kind of young. But they were engaged already, so... And I just was like trying to change the subject. I was like, oh, congratulations! Just so Mama Sheep would not like continue like poking the bear kind of thing. So I changed the subject immediately. I was like, oh, what kind of college are you planning to go to? But yeah, I was like, oof. I'm not getting involved with this, please. The thing is too, like I kind of hate it whenever I eat out with them and they see a waitress and they're like, oh, would you want to get together with my son? Just because I'm single doesn't mean I'm ready to mingle. He's single, and he's ready to mingle. I'm not old! Besides, I'm kind of happy with the bachelor's life. I'm actually kind of happy, like, if I never find a girlfriend. It would be nice, don't get me wrong. And it would be nice to, like, finally experience what it means to be a man, right? But at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of nice having your money and, like, you know, having to spend on anybody else and living by yourself kind of thing, even though I'm living with friends. So, that was to the last thing, not the age. Oh, I see. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think if I do find someone, I don't want them to be like 18 though. That seems a little too young for me. Not to say that I'm old! Hypothetically, not to say that I'm old, chat. Not that I'm old or anything. But it feels weird to think about like if I was, you know, when no, I don't want to say it that way. No, Wi-Fi in the GF when you can become the GF. You're right. Let me go buy AI waifu. A lot of amazing men stay single for the rest of their life. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Funny enough, too, when I was younger, I did have like that kind of what's it called? That kind of breakdown is like, oh, I'm never gonna get myself a girlfriend. I'm gonna grow up alone, right? And I think like almost everybody kind of goes through that phase when they're around their 18s. Not to say that I'm not no longer 18 or anything, or forever 17 tee, but yeah. I went through a phase for a while where it's like I was scared to be alone and not have a girlfriend or anything like that. But I'm pretty happy now. It's actually like this is the happiest I've ever been, being able to do my commissions and become the artist that I've always wanted to be. I imagine if I had a girlfriend or wife or fiance, I wouldn't be able to go as crazy as I did with my commissions, you know? Because I had to like get something more stable. Why are they grooming you in your chats? Good question. Teehee, I'm 12 and what is this? Which I can't really say because technically I'll get in trouble. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I'm a little flattered sometimes, but yeah, I don't like it when Mama Sheep tries to hook me up with any girl that moves, honestly, at this point. She's been trying to hook me up with the nurses and doctors, and she's been asking her sister in the Asian country to find me a doctor wife. That's what I want even less. I want even less a arranged marriage. I think arranged marriages are, in my opinion, the worst. And I get that, like, why they happen, right? Political reasons, power reasons, family reasons. But I do not want to be part of arranged marriage. If I ever get married, I want it to be out of love, not because we were supposed to. than you would expect. No, I get it. And there's like a lot of benefits to it, both money-wise and stuff like that. It's just that, and it's usually people do fall in love. It's sort of like Tinder in a way. But at the same time, like, there's a possibility that we never fall in love. And it's just like a marriage just because of political power or something like that. I would rather have a marriage that we met normally and we like fall in love with each other than have a marriage that was like organized by somebody else. I wouldn't mind meeting the person too and maybe get to know them, but it's always going to be in the back of my head. Like, this person is here mostly because like of arrangement, you know? And that really does like dampen the mood, knowing that there's a possibility that they could be fake, you know? Alin will take her? No, it's the opposite. If she breeds, I respect her. I am what they call Alin Respect-a-Fel, you know? Always asking before taking your picture when you're cosplaying. Always being polite online and making sure I don't drop any hints that I'm affectionate, you know? I'm telling you, like, I never put a heart. I try to avoid putting a heart at all times in any of my messages. And I know, like, a lot of clients do, but I always just return a thumbs up. Because I don't want them to, like, get the wrong impression. But they always, like, there's a lot of clients that, like, it's just because, you know, they're really kind and all that stuff, not because they have any feelings or anything. But I just want to make sure that I don't ever come off as, like, what's it called? Coming on to somebody. So I avoid the heart at all costs. There's only like a couple times where I use the heart, and that's usually when it's related to something like more deeper than the work mission, but it's never to express love. I always just like do a thumbs up just to make sure that I get the point across that you're a cool person, but I'm not in love with you. What's wrong with impression of this? No, don't put the heart. Oh no, everyone's gonna think you love me and I love you. No, oh no, thumbs up. Thumbs up. I need a thumbs up emo. Yeah, thank you, chat. Whenever you get the urge to put a heart in my chat, just give me a thumbs up. So be sure to heart my post on Twitter. Thumbs up. It's interesting. I think nowadays especially, it's very important to make sure that, like, you know, you set up your boundaries correctly, especially on the internet, because there's like people like that one guy that keeps on like getting to girls' DMs and trying to think, like, fall in love with them, but as soon as like they don't get what they want, they start like calling the person out and telling them horrible things. Such a heart emoji and you looked at a different person. Yeah, it's crazy too, because we joke about it, but there are some DMs and some like Google Docs I've seen where like the person gets incredibly jealous, right? Scary. Just know, chat, I care for you, you know, but we're not lovers or anything. Baka. Sneaking into your DMs. Yeah, let me go jump in your DMs right now. Feet pic. I've been listening to some videos about it. Like, there was like that one with the girl failure person, right? And they had like a whole bunch of parasocial things set up for their channel, and suddenly they stopped doing it because they actually got a boyfriend, right? But they did all kinds of things like sleeping in chat with them, rating their naked pictures, sending them naked pictures. I think I don't know the full story, but then like they eventually got a boyfriend, and that kind of like destroyed her audience. That's hard to do, right? I think that's the thing. It's like, in my opinion, I think like that kind of content, making content where it's appeasing to the loneliness of a person, can be really like, how should I put it? Detrimental, because in the end, it's one of those things that you have to keep playing into, you know, that experience for them, the girlfriend experience, the boyfriend experience. That was banging her top subs. I think I heard about this story. It was like wasn't it like the girl that was like related to the Five Guys or something like that? I forgot who that was, but there was like a story about that I remember, where it's like it kept coming up like the Five Guys. Hear this when I get bombarded with new Shoku episode PP stuff? How does that relate? But yeah. It's interesting. Like I said, VTubing is literally just high school all over again. It really is. I swear, a lot of this is like high school behavior. Kind of reminds me too, because back in high school, there was a lot of drama like this. I remember there was a friend I had, like their like boyfriend was like cheating on them with 2 other girls, and the 2 other girls were like okay with it. Well, actually, I think it was one of the girls. I was like, wow, that's gross, right? And then I was thinking about that too, because like you see that happen in the VTuber scene a lot. We really are just high school all over again. I'm telling you, we should have a VTuber academy. That's why I don't do VTubering. I already went to high school, yeah. I think the thing is, I'm keeping myself out of all this like kind of high school drama. So, I'm part of the nerd club. I'm on the nerd table. The next episode is about important characters getting married and there's some forehead kissing. That's cute. There you go. Like I said, it's whenever you get deep entrenched in the community, that's when like all the weirdest and messed up things happen, you know? It happens with Deltarune, it happens with VR chat. Heck, I would say like almost every community has a dark side that you wouldn't want to get deep in the trenches with, right? For VTubing, it's the parasocialism and like the weird cheating relationships everybody has, you know? If it exists, it has a terrible community somewhere out there. So, I always keep the community at arm's length. And I don't mind making my own community for it. Like my own Hololive community or, say, Minecraft community. Because I think you guys are pretty cool. You guys reflect me, after all. We're mirrors. But I've been seeing a lot of people talking about like a VTuber Academy because of the Streamer Academy. Which is an interesting concept. But a lot of them are treating it more like a school than they are actually like learning. You know what I mean? They're like treating it like high school all over again versus actually learning how to content create, you know? Which I think is the wrong way to go about it. I think the whole point of the Stream Academy was so that people learn how to be a content creator. Granted, I haven't watched it myself, but I heard that it did pretty well. Like, people really enjoyed the content of Streamer Academy. Everyone's just a computer on wheels, yeah. I mean, like, I guess if VTubers decide to do a VTubing Academy, they could do it on VR chat. The requirement to do the Academy, you have to have a VR chat model. Into the pit. The ball pit. Most good communities look bad from outside point of view, while the rotten ones look friendly on the outside. I would say even, like, what's it called? I wouldn't say there's been a really good communities. I'm trying to think. Because even like the V-Shoujo one, not V-Shoujo, Katawa Shoujo one kind of devolved. Those guys are a little, what's it called, fanatical. I feel like the thing is a lot of communities have devolved into fanatical cultism kind of feelings, right? Because they're super into what they like, but it gets to the point where it's like kind of cult-like in my opinion. And I have yet to see it not be true. Best stay away from Deltarune? Yeah, Deltarune. Like, I know, like, I've seen the... And there's Deltarune, Final Fantasy XIV, the Blue Archive community, the... Let's see, World of Warcraft community, VR chat. Everything without fail always has a crazy community. Minecraft communities has some crazy people in there. Sonic especially. Like, you name it, it has its own crazy community in it. That's why I think it's always better just to associate with, like, a smaller sub-community of it, rather than the general big community, you know? Doesn't really have a bad community overall. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's very... in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, they do feel very... cult-like in my opinion, and I would say mostly because like how fast they are to turn on to the devs and community as soon as something goes wrong, right? And I get why they did it, and I get the whole gatekeep idea, but that's still pretty crazy in behavior in my opinion. Like, I think it's fine to like gatekeep something, but when you're gatekeeping something that hard, it just looks incredibly insane. But that's just me. It kind of reminds me of like Final Fantasy 14 with its kind of community. The ones that try to push that like, oh, everything about Final Fantasy 14 is good and all that stuff, and then like, yeah. Like, it's very similar to the Final Fantasy 14 community. And I like Final Fantasy 14, but I see how bad the Final Fantasy 14 community gets. And I could see that same kind of community in the Blue Archive community. And it's always scary too, because like those are the... It's always like the first people that looks like they would turn like towards like somebody really fast as soon as something bad happens. Do you mean the thing? Yeah, get called BDFs by content creator. I don't know what the full scenario is, but I just thought it was really crazy, in my opinion, how fast it got turned. And even like the thing is too is like they gatekeep some of the what's it called? Like some of the other people that I feel like don't seem like they would be problematic, but they associate it with other people just because they're associated with them. Like, I don't know how bad Iron Mouse or Zentreya was for the whole thing, but I've seen them like treat them as if they were, you know, gonna destroy the Blue Archive community. Like, I get like they like Mint and the other Face Connect girl, but I don't think some of them were as bad as they say they were. But then again, I don't know the full story, but I still think that, in my opinion, when a community like... I don't think I heard anyone had a problem with Zentreya. Then maybe it was just Twitter, but that still contributes to the thing. Even if it was the Twitter community, they're still part of that overall like Blue Archive community. Sort of like just like for Final Fantasy 14 and stuff. But yeah, I would say honestly, lots of communities out there are pretty bad. It's really hard to find like a good innocent community, but I think it's like whenever a community gets too big, you just get lots of people. So I don't think like the smaller sub communities of say like Blue Archive is bad, but I do think just that overall giant big community is pretty bad. Mouse is very good friends with Connor, and that's why she gets hated. But that's the thing though, like that shouldn't be a reason to hate somebody, you know? And that shouldn't be a reason to kind of expel them from everything and treat them like a demon. I mean, I guess she is like a devil girl. Is she a devil girl? And it's the same kind of behavior you would see in the same kind of like toxic kind of communities that we don't like. You know? So. But it's not like the whole Blue Archive community. It's that general big Blue Archive community. The one that got really, really big. I think it's one of those things that it's the same thing with anything. It's like there's always going to be like the smaller sub communities that are pretty chill and they're pretty okay. But when you look at like the big overall like Twitter community, oof. And that's like coming from someone that likes to defend games. She really is in the pit now. Granblue also had that community too. Like, Granblue has a weird community because like they both love and hate fan service. And it's like, come on guys. Just because they release handsome hunky man who's pretty much shirtless doesn't mean they're like turning tail on the game, right? And just because they release Harvin and Sweep swimsuit doesn't mean like the game is bad. Ugh. I am really tired of communities, really. So I think it's one of those things, as long as you enjoy like the content for what it is and you just enjoy it in a bubble, you don't really have to worry about the big community. What's this called? The NAF into the pit. It's just a thing of either toxic people to outsiders or letting bad people and communities end up falling to one extremities. But that's the thing though. It's one of those things that like eventually you gatekeep hard enough that you become like that kind of toxic miss. Or at least that's what I could tell from with some things. Because I think that in order for a community to be like really fun, I feel like it doesn't need to be all about like kicking people out. Sometimes I wish to just talk about the game. And it's really hard too. If you don't gatekeep, you get a Hoyo community. I suppose so, but technically, like, if you think about it, I would be gatekept from the Blue Archive community because I'm not too into the Blue Archive. Because I would be considered a tourist. You know what I mean? But yeah, Hoyo communities are definitely bad. Oh my gosh, holy crap. Communities, if we're talking toxic, the Hoyo community is super bad. I don't think anything is as bad as that one yet. Not yet, not yet. You're not allowed to play Blue Archive anymore then? Yeah. Because I would technically be seen as a tourist. I would be seen as like, LOL, he doesn't even like Blue Archive. But I think there's like varying levels of enjoying a content or medium, you know? Has it only been like 1 hour? Interesting. Well, I guess it's been 1 hour-ish. Let's restart the timer. I thought I've been streaming for longer, but this thing doesn't seem to show that. Okay. I guess in a way, it's like if I'm considered a person in the community that's problematic, then I guess in a way it's toxic. But I guess I'm problematic to all communities because like I'm not super deep into it and I could be seen as like posing. So, which makes sense. Wait, did I? He's just a poser, chat. Not a real Hololive fan. Not a real Final Fantasy 14 fan. You have to be willing to die for your community. Are you willing to die for what you believe in, chat? Blue Archive isn't really against tourists as a whole. It's the tourists that they think have any authority about Califor. But then I will say something controversial. I think it's fine for people to join into a game. I've never been one super big for gatekeeping, right? That's my big controversial opinion. And that's the thing that'll get me kicked out of the Blue Archive community. I'm always one that, like, if a media is worth enjoying, it's worth enjoying with other people, right? And if there's going to be toxic people that join, then yeah, there's going to be toxic people that join. But at the same time, I value the idea of people being able to enjoy the media more than, you know, this. But I think that's the thing. I know people like say like too with the Blue Archive thing, it's like, oh, they're gonna become the majority, but let them. You know what? I hate that the big community has to represent everybody. You know, same with VTubers. It's not like the big VTubing community represents all VTubers. I think it's always better that the sub-communities and the bubbles are the things that always are the better part, right? When something gets too big, it just becomes messy. Too many contradicting things against each other, too many heads bumping with each other. There we go. Let them. That's how artists start getting harassed. Artists are getting harassed already, honestly. They're gonna get harassed regardless. And that's always because of the bigger community. And the smaller community. And the side community. Artists are always gonna be harassed, honestly. Funny thing is, I never really got harassed yet. And I think it's partially because I do keep to myself. Vote for me to become representative of the community. No, oh, not you. There we go. Let me see. Maybe I should like make more blackness behind them. The darkness encompasses you. I got a review. Nice. I don't really see an artist get shit in the Blue Archive community art. I don't know, it depends, I suppose. But I've never really gotten shit for anything. Not for Hololive, not for anything else, right? But that's because I'm not really part of the big community for anything. Anytime I drew fan art for something, I never really do it for like the bigger overall community. I'm always just posting in my own bubble, right? And you could say like Hololive fans are very controversial too, because Hololive fans have that big like split between them. There's a lot of people who like the traditional Japanese Hololive versus the new EN waves, right? Talk about how like EN's ruining the Japanese side. Like, you know what? Like I said, I don't get involved with that. I just post art and people like it. And I think that's the same with the Blue Archive thing. You just have to be like in your own kind of bubble. I vote for OWO. I vote not for OWO. OWO, I'm sorry, but you're voted off the island. Snap into the pit. But it is what it is. Like I said, my opinion can be very controversial on it, but I do think it's one of those things that personally I will not. I don't want to represent a community in any way. But I do think like all like fan communities are pretty bad regardless. Big fan communities, smaller ones, you guys are chilled. You guys are chill like ice cream. But that just happens. That just happens. There you go. How could you do this to me? Say goodbye to all your life points. I won't let you down. Get a bunch of stuff. Give me a second. I'll go check regen. And Uma didn't get keep. Also remember, I'm not part of the Uma big community, and I still enjoy it. And you can still draw like art. Look at the Japanese artists. They're in their own little bubble. They're not like part of this giant Uma Musume crowd. And they can enjoy Uma Musume. The bigger community can enjoy it, right? And they get to enjoy it however they want. But usually the smaller artists are just like in their own bubble, really. People are still doing Uma Musume stuff. It's not like people started hating Uma Musume because of the community either. I mean, I guess there's some people who are crazy like that, but I think that's the thing. If you start hating something that because of the community, I don't think you were part of the community or didn't really like the medium in the first place, you know? I feel like if the influence of chat member or Twitter poster influence you, that's not a good enough reason to not like it. That's why with Deltarune and Undertale, I can't bring myself to hate it just because of the community. The games are actually pretty good, right? And I can't dislike the game because, say, like, you know, crazy member in the community. I'll just do my own thing and enjoy the game as it is. Same with Sonic too. I think Sonic also has like a controversial opinion or community. Basically, even if you let everyone in the community, new people will become toxic in a different way. Let them. Honestly, I'm not part of there. They could do whatever they want. I mean, like, there's always the argument that they'll influence the game, but there's always like other communities and other games to enjoy. Really, I think it's best not to be superly attached to anything. But then again, I was thinking about that. I wonder if I'm too distant with things. Maybe I need to like be more attached to things. I guess it's like I'm more hermit when it comes to my likes. I was thinking about this recently, like how disconnected, like I'm not overly connected, I suppose. Committed? No, I don't know what's the terminology for it, but I'm not overly ingrained into anything I like. It's like, oh, I get it. This is not good. Fine. I would rather the toxic part actually played the game and didn't just LARP. That's the thing too. There's going to be a large part of the toxic part that also played the game, you know? And who is to say that they're not allowed to have their own opinions, no matter how toxic they are? We're treating them as if they're in a bubble, but there is like a mix. It's never just yes or no, 0 and 1. There's always going to be a mix of people. There we go. So you can teleport to shops at the end, keeps keys for treasure rooms and other things. Interesting. But it is what it is. I just say enjoy the games. Just enjoy video games. Enjoy stuff. And don't let people like stop you from enjoying something. You know? The way I see it is that if a community makes you stop enjoying it, then you didn't really enjoy it in the first place. You need to like video games. You gotta like what you like. And like it beyond more than, in my opinion, the overall community. Whether the community is good or bad. I won't lie though, I would not like to be associated with a lot of communities. Even if I draw art of the stuff, I do not want to be associated with said communities. Just like your video games, chat. Like it. Like your video games. How can you say something so brave and controversial? Because, chat, I'm an advocate for happiness. Let yourself be happy, chat. Opinion when their best unit is a Kayoko. Claims to be played since launch. Yeah, but that's cherry picking, really. You're just picking like someone specific to kind of like push your narrative in a way. But I am happy, yeah. Sure, it could be like a more common number, but at the same time, that is still just picking a specific person. It's interesting though. I think that's the same with Power World and Hytale too. Power World and Hytale has like their sense, and Pokemon too. Honestly, I keep saying it. Every community does. Every community does this, and it's so stupid. I feel like there's no exempt at this point. Every community is stupid in its own way. Pokemon, Hytale, Minecraft. Like, there is no bound to how bad every community is. Like, I really hate the Pokemon community for attacking Power World because, like, Power World has been doing better with its designs, and I can admit that, right? But then the Pokemon community is still attacking it, and then like same with Power World. Power World are telling like people in the community, Pokemon community, how garbage their games are. I'm telling you, there is no end to this. It's literally everybody's like, especially on Twitter. I think it's mostly because of Twitter, honestly. Twitter is just a bad space for communities. I think that's the thing too. I feel like communities IRL aren't bad too. Like when you meet like the Idolmaster fan or the Digimon fans or the Pokemon fans, maybe even the Hytale fans in real life, they're probably really chill. But online, it's because the online is a mix of people who are very chilled people who don't mind things as much, and terminally online people, you know? And that's part of the reason why I think the big community, online especially, is pretty bad. Like the person claiming Blue Archive was a Yuri game, something dumb. Like they have no stake in like whatever they say. Even if they're a Uma Musume fan, it could have been someone else. It could have been like a Limbus Company fan, or it could have been like a Pokemon fan. I feel like that's the thing. It's like someone who's a fan of something and attacking something else does not represent the overall community. And sure, there's going to be a good number of people from specific communities, but that's not necessarily the general like take, you know? That's like saying like Limbus Company fans are at war with the Blue Archive fans. But I'm telling you, it's just people who are terminally online. It's pretty bad. What I'm saying is stop being online, chat. Get off the internet. They are though. Yeah, but then that's going to be like very generalizing, because then it's like saying like, you know, in a way, if most fans are like that, then you would see a Uma fan and it's automatically assume that they possibly hate Blue Archive, you know? They could have their headcanons, yeah. They shouldn't force it, yeah. Essentially. But it is what it is, honestly. It is what it is. I think the general just takeaway is just to enjoy things. Most Limbus fans are LARPers. See what I mean? Exactly that line of thought. There we go. It's like, let them just do what they want to do at this point. But like I said, I do think that when I went to Anime Expo and I met up with like some fans of like say Idolmaster and other things in person, they're a lot more chill than online. And honestly, I think online should not be taken for what the community really is. And I imagine too, same with Blue Archive fans, like they're not going to be as like gatekeepy in person as they are on the internet. Same with the Uma fans. I don't think they're going to attack your what you like as much as they do online. Except for Love Life fans, fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. I say that because it's like because when I went to Anime Expo and I was at the Idolmaster meetup, a bunch of Love Life fans were passing up and they're like, "Boo, Idolmaster, we love Love Life." But I know they were just doing it out of fun. They were definitely just doing it out of fun. They were not like there to like cause a war or anything. But I just thought it was hilarious. But yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, people are just super online nowadays. If they did try to change their fandom, they have like nothing, honestly. Like I said, I think part of it, all this conversation too, just amounts to being terminally online. Because like I said, people are much more chill in real life. Because if we weren't chill, that person that said that to the Idolmaster community would have got jumped. Because they were walking right into the hornet's nest and yelling that bees suck. Wait, no, hornets suck. You know? But the reality is, people are much more chill. And I think I appreciate that. I think it's always important to step away from the internet too. Because sometimes you forget what's actually normal conversations between people versus like people who are terminally online. And being terminally online is very bad. One of the best things you can do is never go on social media. Yeah, especially for media you like. 100% that 100%. I like to look up things about the games I like, but I don't like being part of that community. You know? 100%. Grim, you are the truth teller here. If you like something, just disassociate with the community at all. None of the communities will ever be good for you. There has been, in my opinion, no good communities, sadly. There we go. Never go on social media, especially twitch.tv. Yeah, why are you guys even here? But that's why I like celebrating and enjoying things with you guys, because we're not like the big community, right? I could talk about Blue Archive and be like, yeah, I love Blue Archive and enjoy it. And I wouldn't be like called out like, oh, you don't like Blue Archive because you never actually finished the story, kind of thing. Or I could say like, oh, I'm enjoying Power World, but then I don't have like any Pokemon fans saying like, how could you enjoy Pokemon? It's just a rip, or Power World, it's just a rip-off of Pokemon, or vice versa, you know? We would be considered a small like sub-community, if anything. And I don't have to worry about like saying that I like something specific and getting attacked by general people. Even Uma Musume. I love my Umas. And I wish to one day come back to the Umas. You are free, chat, to like what you like here. I think there used to be some sort of decent ones, but it got worse. Yeah. Because COVID pushed everyone online, and then people realized they could act like a asshole online with no repercussions. So, really. I always find it funny if Power World is a ripoff because it is more of a ripoff of Arc. Yeah, that's the thing, and I hate it. Like, the Pokemon community has not played Power World at all, and they just do it based on what they saw. It bothers me so much. How many people can say, like, Power World is just a ripoff of Pokemon? Like Arc with monsters? Doesn't Arc already have dinosaurs you could train? Like, it's really, really stupid. And I get it too, like, because like people are very defensive of their favorite franchises. Tribalism, that's what it is. Tribalism, tribalism, whatever it is, the worst. Everything I was talking about is literally tribalism. People who defend their franchise way too hard, and people who like are way into the things that they like to the point where they're fanatical. Tribalism. Do not be a tribal. Unga bunga. Team Mobile Monsters? Tribalism? I don't know what the terminology is actually. It's one of those terms. PAL portion similar to Pretty Surface, no evolutions, yeah. I could get though that there is some PALs that share too much similarities to some Pokemon, but beyond that, it's two completely different games. I think that's the only thing that they share. And the Pokeball idea where you throw a sphere and you catch something, but even that is very loose. It's just not COVID. People act like as if fiction is real and real life is fiction. Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, just, you know, enjoy your stuff. Just be you, chat. Just be you and like the things you like. Pokemon also aren't super unique. Yeah, a lot of Pokemon are just basic animals. Fujian as a dog. From what I've seen, the Japanese patent commission is getting annoyed at Pokemon versus Power World as a world. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I get why they're pushing for it, but at the same time, like, just let them be at this point. I think that's all stupid. There's over 1,000 Pokemon, you'll get close to some of them. Well, the thing is, like, my take on it is the very similar body shapes, right? There's a lot of a couple pals that have way too similar body shapes to, like, to Pokemon, you know? It's sort of like the idea of, like, drawing an elephant. There's so many ways to draw an elephant. And I get that maybe you might have, like, some things that look similar, right? Like, for example, Kufant. Kufant looks very simple, like that, right? And maybe, I don't know if there's any pal that looks like that, but when you have, like, too many of them that have that similar shape, or even, like, Kyrogue, which is supposed to be a whale, right? When the shape is way too similar too many times, that's when it gets suspicious. But yeah, I think the one that, like, always throws me off is the one that has that Gudra-shaped body. That one always throws me off because it's way too, like, it keeps reminding me of the Gudra shape, right? Like, the flower doesn't matter, but the Gudra part does. And I remember seeing, like, the one where it's, like, the beads of the hair are very similar to Primaneras, where it's literally the same shape when you overlay it. Like, a lot of them are very similar, and I think they pulled up a lot of inspiration from it, if I had to guess. But some of them are too similar, like, way too similar. Stole from... No, that's not the same thing, because when we look... And I hate that argument, because when we look at the Dragon Quest and Pokemon designs, like, sure, they have big mouth bat, right? But the shape of a big bat or the big mouth bat in Dragon Quest is completely different shape from the silhouette of Golbat, you know? Like, comparing Dragon Quest and the Pokemon one is such a stupid argument, and I've seen everyone been saying it, because they're so completely different. Like, the one I would also say is like Anubis and Lucario. They have a very similar body structure, like way too similar, right? Like, I would get it maybe if Anubis was like longer, or if it was more stout, or maybe more wider, but the fact that it was that similar, right? Same with the Verrose, or whatever it's called, that grass bunny that looks like Cinderace. That one was very similar, and I'm glad, Verdash, that's what it's called. And I'm glad they changed it. They actually did a really good job changing Verdash to make it more unique, right? Like, let me show you what I mean. Verdash. Like, when we look at Verdash, right, versus this new one, and then you look at Cinderace, they have a very similar body structure. Like, the newer one, much better. And all they did was, like, round him out and make him shorter, right? Let me see if I can find, like, Cinderace. Even something as simple as that. Like, even, like, some elements here. Here, let's see. Let's look at Cinderace, right? Some of the elements here already, like this here and this here, right? Eats, right? I feel like there's a lot of similarities, but then when you look at this one compared to this one, the silhouettes are completely different. They feel very separate comparatively, right? And it might be just me because I'm an artist and I notice this stuff a lot more, but yeah, you can do only so much as making good bodies. No, that's... No, that's not true. You could do so much more. It's really unlimited what you could do with 3D. Like, 3D, you could do so much. That is not... As an artist, like, you can do so much more. Trust me. Like, honestly, there is, like, so much more. But I get it. They probably had inspiration from Pokemon. Like, with 3D, you can do a lot. And 2D, you can. They're based off the same god. That does make sense. But, I mean, they could have done something more, in my opinion. Right? They could have done 100% something more. But like I said, I think part of it too is because I notice it more since the artistic eye. So it's a lot easier to notice things. But I think for the layman, it's a little bit harder to notice the similarity sometimes. Let me see. What does this base gun look like? But yeah, I do think like there's a lot of things you could have done. It's sort of like when someone asks you to draw an elephant. You could do a lot of things with an elephant. And it can still have that elephant elements, right? Because here's what they teach you in art class, right? When you talk about drawing something specific, you think about the key elements that make the animal work for what it is, right? Like for an elephant, you know the snout, the ears, right? even the tail could be something. Could be the feet, right? And it's like there could be an emphasis on different sizes on like different things to create like this different feeling and silhouette, right? Like maybe bigger ears and stuff like that. And like you could have like a bigger or square body. There's like a lot of things you can do. And it could be like, oh yeah, we can worry about like making it look good, but you can just like refine anything. You can put an elephant and snake. Yeah, you can if you want. You can really do a lot of things. That's why I feel like some of the designs, if they didn't directly copy it, was a little too similar, right? And I think part of it too is sort of like what they did with Terraria. I don't know if you guys were around when Terraria started out, but Terraria started off with when they're with the character art or the character stuff. They all were sprites from Final Fantasy V, right? You played as Barts in the very original Terraria build, so I get it, and I don't mind them like fixing it over time and stuff. But to say some of them aren't like super inspired by Pokemon, yeah. You would, I think they also do that. Like there was another game that did something like that where they were testing out their sound engine and there's still data of Pokemon music or something like that in there. I remember that was something that happened in some sort of game. You could add a jetpack. You can't add a jetpack into Elephant. But yeah, there's really like there is no limit to creativity, honestly. That's why I think that if something looks too similar, maybe once or twice it's fine. But when you have too many things that have a very similar feeling, that's when it gets, in my opinion, suspicious. Like once or twice it's fine, because like every now and then you would have like something that looks very similar, maybe in a good handful. But I would say when maybe like a good amount of the roster has something like that, then yeah. People got mad at the legendary whale even though it was different enough. Yeah, the only thing I would say with the whale is that the body shape is the same, but beyond that, they did a good job reiterating it, right? I would say the whale design is much better, that it may have a very similar body shape, but it's unique enough. Because you look at the silhouette, and I think that's important, it's the silhouette. In my opinion, it's the silhouette that you see that really makes it, right? And when the silhouette looks very similar to that of like a Pokemon, that's when it becomes too samey. But when it's very different because of elements, then yeah. It's just a simple shape to make. No, it's a simple shape to make, right? But I would just say that like the body does look, I thought the same thing too at first. I was like, that's a very common body type, but then like I saw the overhead and it was actually very similar in shape, like surprisingly. So, but that's the only thing I would say. If it wasn't for the overhead, I wouldn't think much of it, but I saw the over the top view and someone overlaid them on top of each other. It's that when it gets overlaid, that's the problem, but I think there was still enough of it to reiterate on the design aspect, really. But yeah, I think it's one of those like art things. I'm more advocating like the idea that like you really just can be super creative. There's like no limits to creativity. It's like creating your own Pikachu like. I mean, technically you could create your own Pikachu like, but it's still like Pikachu. There you go. It's interesting though. It's an interesting conversation to be had. But yeah, I'm tired of like Pokemon fans knocking around the Power World fans, because at this point like Power World has been doing better for itself, and I think Power World is moving towards a really good direction with this design. In fact, in my opinion, the earlier Power World designs were the ones where they copied the most. But ever since the earlier builds, Power World has been only releasing original designs. I have no problem with all the newer designs of Power World. It's only the early designs that I found to be like too Pokemon-like, which I think in my opinion is a good thing. And I think they took it to heart, trying to step away from the Pokemon. Which is funny too, because they do a lot more waifu designs. Because I don't think, in my opinion, any of the newer Power World PAL designs have anything too similar to Pokemon. So Power World won the lawsuits, or still on it. I think they're winning the lawsuits, if I remember correctly. I don't know what's happening with it. I don't really follow it, because I think it's really stupid. I don't think Nintendo should be doing it, honestly. It's a very stupid thing. But they're doing what they do to suppress competition. Oh, Nintendo. But yeah, I want to play Palworld one day. I want to see like some of the new PAL designs in game. That way I can collect them myself. One thing I always have trouble with Palworld too, especially like this is also a problem with Pokemon, is like coming up with your team that you want to run around with, right? Because like I come up with like Pokemon or pals and I like them as like, oh yeah, I like this one because we started off together and like we went on a journey together. But then I have too many of those and then my team becomes full and I don't really add any pals from the later areas. It's the same thing with like the Pokemon, where it's like I play Pokemon and it's like, oh, I call all these Pokemon from the beginning and they've been in my journey this whole time and I don't want to replace them. Nintendo should use that money for the betterment of the games, yeah. But you know what it is how it is. Nintendo's gonna keep doing it what they do, so I just get a team and stick with it. But then it's like, it always feels painful to do that because like when you get to the later part of the game, you see some really cool PAL designs and it's like, oh, or Pokemon designs too. It's like, oh, I can't catch, say, Houndoom until post-game, but I already have my team, you know? Or, oh, you can't really catch Sneasler or Sneasel until you get to the Victory Road, right? That's why I always have a hard time like picking a team. And Palworld is especially tough for me to pick because you only have 5 slots versus 6. It's like, oh, who should I pick to be my flyer? It would be fun to play Palworld again one day. Maybe one of these days. You don't have to get a full team before the Elite Four. I mean, you don't have to. But at the same time, you're kind of like holding yourself back for some of the gym leaders. Because, you know, having 6 is always a good number to have for whenever you enter a gym leader. And besides, like, I've been trying to like come up with a better style to kind of play rather than just like sticking with a team. Like, but I think that's part of the reason I don't mind the whole EXP share in later games as much. Because I realize it kind of encourages you to try new Pokemon. But if you stick with one team, it makes the game too easy. I wish there was like a middle ground for it. But I guess there is no middle ground for something like that. Because being able to level up Pokemon really fast makes it so that you can like push anybody into the team that you want. Earlier games, not so much because you would have to grind like crazy in the grass, which can be painful. But I would say later games, that EXP plus, the EXP for the whole party does help out really well. But I thought about it like how, what's it called? I thought about it like how the anime does it. And I thought that was like the more fun idea, where it's like you basically like catch a bunch of Pokemon that help you for your gym leader challenges, and then like your final team is made of all the like a selection of the Pokemon that you went throughout the whole journey with. It reminds me of the Elite Four, or not the Elite Four, the Generation, the anime where Ash was fighting against I think it was the Frontier Brains, and he had to choose from all the generations before the current generation that he was in, right? So his team was made up of a combination of Pokemon from Generation 1, 2, and 3. And I thought that's like the better way to play it. It's already quite easy and made more so. Yeah, it is easy, but it's very easy. But the EXP share makes it more easy. But I might as well take advantage of it and use it to essentially try out different teams and try out different Pokemon. I like the idea though. I mean, we could learn a lot from how Ash does Pokemon, really, and enjoying Pokemon. Because sometimes I do feel like a lot of times people optimize the fun out of like playing through the standard playthrough of Pokemon. It's like, oh, I gotta get one of each Pokemon type, and I gotta teach them all the best moves. But there is a charm to doing what Ash did, and it's just like catching some Pokemon and using them. Maybe you should make unlocked team slots over time. I don't know, because then that'll make it too crazy. Because if you have more Pokemon, like if you have a lot of Pokemon on hand, it just makes it so there's no point in making a team, because now you just have your whole box with you, or at least like an answer for every solution. I think the charm of Pokemon team building is turning Pokemon into multiple roles, right? Making it so like, say, you have a weakness to ground type. Okay, so you have a water type, but then now you have a weakness to electric. Maybe your water type can also have a move that fights electric types, you know? That was the charm in like Pokemon team building. It's like coming up with an answer for everything with the limited number of slots you have. So if we just keep adding team slots, it kind of destroys that purpose. Meant that type don't start with 6? You don't start with 6? That's an interesting take. I mean, that could be a possibility, but I think there's the problem with that though is that, let me see. No, I guess that would be beneficial because then you like have to make a team for every gym leader. I guess that wouldn't be friendly for kids. Like I'm also thinking about like something that's child friendly. Because part of the reason Pokemon is so easy is to appeal to the kids too. But it would be like makes sense in a general point of view, the idea of like having a player grow throughout the game. I feel like there was like a Monster Collector game that did that, but they got like a lot of people didn't like that because they didn't like how they could only carry so many monsters with them. Only so little. It's hard to say because like I get why Pokemon is the way it is. In fact, while I think that Pokemon Wind and Waves has a chance to be pretty good, I do think that Wind and Waves will still be easy to appeal to the kids. And I feel like that'll always be the case with a lot of games, a lot of Pokemon games moving forward. They'll always be pretty easy for a new audience, really. Gotta appeal to those babies after all. As they say, any Pokemon game could be someone's favorite Pokemon game, you know? In fact, I think that's like part of the reason like some games get more popular as time goes on, because there was a generation that grew up with them and they're nostalgic for it, you know? Like how I'm nostalgic for Red and Blue, there are probably kids nowadays who are adults that are nostalgic for Sun and Moon or Black and White. So it's interesting. And now the argument keeps breaking further and further as people like make fun of Gen 1ers. I mean, person does it, expanding your hand repertoire over the story? I mean, it would be like an interesting thing for growth, but I'm trying to think how could it work for a Pokemon game in a way that still makes it so it's still available for kids to play. Because I know kids will get, you know, brain turned off as soon as like something like that happens. Kids' attention spans are pretty bad nowadays. Maybe spin-offs could be easier, harder than mainline games. That's what I was thinking. And actually, I do think, in my opinion, that the spin-offs do a better job in trying to make something different. Like both Arceus and ZNA did try something different. ZNA was super easy, but Arceus did have its struggles. Because Arceus had its own like battle system that's focused on fast and power moves. So, but I do know that's kind of abusable. Start with 4, 5, 6, maybe. That could be interesting. And it could be a way to kind of encourage people to like the competitive Pokemon, because competitive Pokemon usually just use 3 Pokemon. So having to start off with 3 could be a good way to do it. I mean, there's some games that do interesting things. Like I know there's some ROM hacks like the Infinite Pokemon. What's it called? Pokemon Infinite Fusion. That one has an interesting system where you're only allowed to use as many Pokemon as the gym leader. So if the gym leader only has 2 Pokemon, you're only allowed to bring 2 Pokemon into the battle. And I think that's a good option, honestly. Something like that, so that way you can travel around with 6 Pokemon, but then like when you have to do a challenge where it limits you, I think that's the better option over just overall neutering your choices. At least in my opinion. Because it still has the 6 Pokemon, makes it so you can still journey, but it makes you think about your gym leader choices and what Pokemon you bring to the gym leader. What are they called in Dead Space? The monsters? Monsters? There we go. That makes me want to play Infinite Fusion again. Infinite Fusion was pretty fun. I heard that Infinite Fusion released Hoenn, right? Recently? They'll ever be moderated hard? I don't think so either. Because, like I said, they're appealing to the kids, and it makes sense. And I think the good comparison was Dragon Quest, how Dragon Quest is starting to be forgotten by a lot of younger audience. And it makes sense. Necromorphs. Yeah, I found it. Necromorphs. So, Pokemon is trying its hard to stay relevant. And they're doing a good job, honestly. When you think about it, Pokemon is one of those brands that still is loved by both kids and adults everywhere, right? You could recognize Pikachu, but you can't recognize Agumon. Digimon was a different case. Digimon grew up with its audience, and that's both to its benefit and to its downfall. Because Digimon's having a hard time hooking newer people into the series, but a lot of older audience they have are very nostalgic for it and really enjoy it, like me, right? But Digimon, Pokemon itself has a wide appeal. Are you a Pokemon? Alan! I see it with how dumbed down Persona quite sad, yeah. Same with Persona. Persona has that problem too. They're trying to reach to a bigger audience. And like I said, it's to their benefit, but also to their downfall, because they're trying to make Persona into like a bigger franchise, right? Something a longer lasting franchise. But by making something a longer lasting franchise, that involves like basically simplifying the game, making it more mainstream, making it so anybody could get into it, right? So it sacrifices a lot of its darker storytelling. It sacrifices a lot of its difficult gameplay. It sacrifices a lot of its nuances, you know? And like I said, it's both good and bad. It makes it so that newer people can get into it, but it makes it so that people who like the game elements for what it is lose interest in it. They want more people to buy into it to get more money, yeah. I think companies are really trying hard to make their franchises last longer, which I don't think is bad. I do like the idea of a franchise that I could share with my kids, if I ever had kids. Like, say, Pokemon. I feel like Pokemon is one of those franchises I could share with my kids. If I ever had kids, right? It'd be like, I grew up on Pokemon, so they could grow up on Pokemon. But you can't say the same for, like, Dragon Quest as much anymore, because there's no new Dragon Quest games. You're pregnant? You caught me! I'm pregnant! You know you would be a Groudon? No. I'd probably be, like, a Wooloo. Or a Mareep. Probably a Mareep more than anything. And I evolve into a dragon. Just like Mareep. There we go. I don't remember what Builders was like. It was liked. But I don't think there's a Builders 3 coming out. I think what Pokemon doing is correct, but at the same time, I would wish if they had like spin-offs more experimental. Pokemon, in my opinion, plays it way too safe, and I'm hoping that they do something experimental with Winds and Waves. Even if people hate it, I want them to try something different. You didn't make that Smash or Pass stream? I don't know what you're talking about, chat member. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's interesting though. It's interesting. Franchises are something. The mouth though? Don't say the mouth. I don't know what you're talking about, chat member. I guess this guy's just missing a bottom jaw. It would be nice though if some franchises come back from the dead and just continue lasting. Honestly, I think that like a lot of franchises could have done like the Pokemon route, but they missed their opportunity on it. Like Yu-Gi-Oh, in my opinion. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh struggles to pick up a newer audience, but they have the history of Pokemon. It's just that they didn't take advantage of their you know, what they could have done. A lot of companies could look at Pokemon for like how they approach things. Same with Digimon. You said what Pokemon you would want to be in a Smash scenario. I want Cinderace to be in a Smash Smash scenario. No, I get what you're saying. I don't know. It's hard to say too because like I wonder if it's better for a franchise to die with its good grace, or if it's better for a franchise to continue to live. Like I always thought about that with Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire was a really good game. I loved the Breath of Fire series. But I always wonder, like, I wonder what Breath of Fire would be like nowadays if it was kept alive. You know? Like, I wonder if it would be dumbed down, or if there's not going to be the Dragon Transformation, or Dragon Transformation done in a different way. Better to end and be revived in a few years than grind on and get shittier. But that's the thing, though. Sometimes, like, a series ends and then comes back and is even shittier. A good example, I would say, in my opinion, and this might sound controversial, is Super, Dragon Ball Super. Like, Dragon Ball Super can be enjoyable, but I won't lie that it lost a lot of the charm that Dragon Ball Z had. And I get that the Dragon Ball Super is a little bit more back to form of the original Dragon Balls, where they're more silly and comedic with some of the character designs. But Dragon Ball Z was a lot more elevated in its, like, stakes, in a way. For a DMC5 type game than a ton of games, but bad too. Okay, I get that. Some franchises can come back pretty well, but I feel like some franchises don't. Like, I'm trying to think. If there's a franchise that I like that didn't come back that well. I mean, Neptunia. Neptunia is all over the place, but I swear, I guess Neptunia is still just ongoing. Don't like Super. Yeah, I never liked Dragon Ball. I mean, the thing is, Dragon Ball Super has its own charm, but it's not the same as Dragon Ball Z, you know? And I get they're trying to go back to Dragon Ball, but even it doesn't have the... I don't think it even has the Dragon Ball feel, too. So, I think it's its own thing. So, sometimes it can work, sometimes it works. I think there's a lot of franchises that came back successfully. I think No More Heroes is another one that, like, did not do something for a long time. But then they do something recently, and it didn't turn out that well. Toriyama, he was only giving the notes and supervised. That makes sense, but still, he still has a hand in it, you know? Even though, you know, it may not be as much as before. At least I don't remember liking Dragon Ball Z when it aired here as a kid. Yeah. It's one of those things that you either like or hate. But I think a lot of people live in the nostalgia of Dragon Ball Z. And it's hard to say too, because technically Dragon Ball Z never really ended properly. It had Dragon Ball GT, but that was a spin-off. You know? So it was never actually like a better kind of remake or revision. I think it was only involved with the movies and Daima. I see. That kind of makes sense then, but I mean, it's even like the movie I didn't really care for. I think the Beerus one was really cool, but then they started bringing back Frieza. The Brawly one was really good though. I like the Brawly one. I think the Brawly one was good, though. In Brawly, they kind of redid his character completely, so and they kind of canonized his, you know, him being in the world. Superheroes was okay. I thought it was interesting to see what Gohan was up to, but yeah. Did die a little while ago, yeah, like a couple years ago. I want to say maybe at least 5 years at this point, I think. I don't know. 6, 7. It's interesting. It's interesting, but I guess it's one of those things that it's hard to get the charm on what the original really did. I think Digimon has to struggle with that too. They tried so hard to figure out what's Digimon's charm. Like, it's a mix between like having the older generation, where they're trying to like do things to appeal to the first generation of Digimon stuff, versus the newer things, which is like trying as new things. It's hard. I mean, Personal never bothered me with the Boo Saga, and that was the last arc. Yeah, technically, yeah, Boo Saga was technically the last arc when you think about it. GT was its own thing in the anime. which is kind of interesting when you think about it. But then again, GT had a pretty, or the Boo arc had a pretty interesting way to end it when you think about it, which is like Goku picking up an apprentice, and like with Oob. So when you think about it, that would be like a pretty good way to end it. Which is kind of interesting too, because technically Oob has not really shown up much in Super. Despite him being like supposedly the reincarnation of Majin Buu, Kid Buu, he hasn't really done much in the, what's it called? In the Super. GT really did give him a good way of like developing his character though. It actually made him really useful in GT comparatively. Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator died. I think he was saving a kid. Yeah, it's a shame. I hope he's resting in peace. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. There we go. Hi, I'm Lima-chan. I'm at 85 subs. If I hit 100 subs, my family will celebrate with me. Can you give me a shout out? Shout out. Hey Lime, how are you doing? Lime-chan. What kind of content do you create, Lime-chan? Shout out, shout out. Wait, no, that's no, what was that song from JoJo? Breakdown, breakdown! Breakdown, breakdown! Why would you want to be shouted out? I don't like to be shouted out. You're right. I'm sorry for shouting at them. That's an interesting way to introduce yourself in chat. I create content about my favorite fandoms and draw anime in Roblox. Oh, that sounds cute. Well, good luck on your journey to hit 100. You got this. So I would say like a better way to get to 100, it wouldn't be jumping into people's chats like that. My recommendation as someone who also creates content is, kind of let it happen organically. Just gotta do what you gotta do. But I would say that I'm like not really super bothered by it, but there is going to be other people who would be bothered by it. So, is a shouter? Mm-hmm. I shout all the time. Ah. I haven't played Roblox in a long while. What's Roblox up to? What cake should I get for my 100 celebration party? Lemon cake or velvet? I think so. Lemon cakes are pretty good. I like lemon cake. Subs aren't organic. They don't translate to views. Yeah. I think this thing. Yeah. It's everybody has a different goal though. Some people like to see number go up. Some people want to have some people chat. Shouter. Shouter? I hardly know her. Oh gosh, I'm so good at this. What is Roblox up to nowadays? I'm kind of curious. I haven't played Roblox since I last streamed it, which was like years ago at this point. I don't know, maybe actually just last year. Did anything cool happen in Roblox? I know they were talking about it for a bit on like Twitter with that Roblox Pokemon thing, but beyond that, I like lemons. Not like I'll be eating lemons. Yeah, haven't tried lemon cakes. It's pretty good. You gotta enjoy it. There you go. Personally, my favorite cakes are lemon cakes. I enjoy myself a good lemon cake. There we go. Now we just have to draw the back set, the background. They probably have more controversy. They had more controversy, but the thing about the thing, I don't remember what you were talking about. Honestly, my peewee brain does not compute. I apologize. Oh, I just realized what time is it. Let's see. What should I eat? I'll eat leftovers for dinner. Then I'll probably pick up some stuff from Walmart. Blue velvet. Interesting. I don't know what blue velvet is, but I heard of. I'm gonna look it up one day. Even if you don't, the gloomy stuff. Oh, you're talking about Roblox. If you don't, at least you will know for next time. Personally, I just like lemons. Lemons are pretty good. Yeah. I thought Roblox was making a bunch of games still recently. Am I wrong? I don't know how Roblox really works. You know, I think about like Roblox and how like Minecraft is kind of like a competition to it, but I also think about like there's probably like a lot of people who grew up on Roblox in a way. So I can't really say the game's bad or good. Blue velvet is like red velvet or blue. I see. Let's see. How should I do this set piece? Oh, it's starting to get hot. Have you ever like just got really hot and you start getting dizzy? That's what's happening with me right now. I think I have to end the stream soon. Maybe I'll finish this one up and I'll end it. It's basically unlimited games, but no games. Yeah, that's what I noticed when I last played it. Like they have a lot of things, but none of them are fully developed. Scan rate. I could be dizzy too because of the heat. Yeah, you're right. I might need to hydrate. Doesn't grab water at all. Let's see. How should we do this? You know what the Roblox kind of reminds me of? You guys remember those like school games that have like where they're not really full games, but they're still like game enough that you're playing them? That's what that reminds me of. You could be dehydrated. I could be too. I am feeling a little dizzy. And it's hot. I'm gonna eat and drink after stream and stop at Walmart afterwards. Both flavors and color are my favorite. That's good. What's the countdown there? It's my Pomodoro timer. So I use it to keep track of working, and then I usually take a break whenever the timer goes off. But I forgot to. I don't take breaks on this stream, chat. There's no such thing as breaks on the Alin art stream. He just keeps going. He doesn't care. He's unstoppable. Who said you could stop working? Cracks whip. Yeah. The last time it ended, yeah, I kept skipping all my breaks. Don't do what I do, chat. Don't be like me. Break skipper. Take your breaks. Why does my drawing in digital look good? On paper it looks bad. It's because you're not used to the medium. Two completely different mediums that require different sets of skills. Unless he gets stunlocked by a game, yeah. Like the HoloLive game. Oh, elephant. I don't know why I switched to the elephant really quick. That HoloLive game is really fun though. I'm enjoying it. I like it. Like I said though, I hope that HoloLive game lasts for at least a couple years. It's fun. I wonder who my units that I collect is today. I have to see. Which girls can I collect today? There's a HoloLive game? Holodori. The HoloLive Dreams. We were just talking about it. The rhythm game. It's actually pretty good. I mean, the rhythm game is pretty standard, but I think it's, you know, standard is good. But there's a lot of stuff to it. Like, it has its own, like, mini game kind of thing. And it's cute. It's super cute. Looks like I sadly have to go. Alright, go enjoy yourself. Have a good day. But you should check it out. They're giving out free stuff in the Holodori game. Holo Dream. But if you don't like rhythm games, then you probably wouldn't like it. The rhythm part is really good. And I'm actually surprised too. I was talking about with chat that there's a lot of cover songs in there that I would not expect to be in a rhythm game. Usually cover songs are in games that don't really have a focus on the idols, like Idolmaster or Love Live would not have cover songs, but something like Taiko would have cover songs in it. Since you have been reading, yeah. I get that, but it's a really good game. Unless you don't like rhythm games, then you probably won't like it. Play the Hatsune rhythm games. They are pretty fun. I like the Hatsune Miku rhythm games. There is some Miku songs in the Holodori game, which is what surprises me. Like when there was like a lot of covers there, I wasn't really surprised, but I guess that makes sense because the girls sing it themselves, so it makes sense why they have the cover songs. But I'm surprised that like say Braveheart is there for Digimon. Or The God Only Knows with Haruhi. And then some Miku songs. I'm thinking Miku, Miku, ooh, ee, ooh. Maybe when I have time next week. Do you like rhythm games? Because if you don't like rhythm games, then it might be a struggle. And I would say the story is nothing too complicated. It's literally like a slice of life anime. But it's cute. If you like slice of life cute anime, like cute girls doing cute things, it's literally up my alley with the story. But if you want something more serious, it's not that. There's no drama to it. It's literally just them being cute. Like, oh, I just dropped this box over here. Oh, you're so silly. Trips. Not really, yeah. So don't go into expecting a really good story. But if you like the rhythm game part, you'll like the rhythm game part. I like music, but not really into music games, yeah. Like, don't force yourself into a game that you probably don't have anything that you like. I mean, still give it a try if you want to, but like, gotta think if you like it. Like, do you like Hololive? Do you like slice of life stories? Do you like playing rhythm games? It's cute though. I do like it. Everything around it falls up in my alley. There you go. I don't have time for a new game. That makes sense. Definitely not for everyone. But for me, I'm reading quite a lot. I get that. I get that. I'm gonna enjoy my Hollow girls. They're gonna be so cute. Ina's so cute. Ina, Ina, Ina. The only thing I would say though is the pull economy doesn't feel great, but then again, it's a rhythm game. The rhythm game pull economies are never that great. I remember playing Cinderella Girls in Love Live, and they don't really give you much primo gems. You are literally scrapping for those primos. Honestly though, I don't think you really need like a meta deck in a rhythm game, because the rhythm game is the meta kind of thing. The reason you wouldn't need meta is if there's like a competitive side to it, which there is. There's like ranking battles if you want to get score, but yeah, I'm not doing that. No time for anything else. I get that. I feel that. Yeah. Wailing in a rhythm game. The only reason I would wail for that game is just to get the characters, because you get the outfits for the girls if you get their cards. But outside that, there's no reason to wail competitive wise. I imagine that's what they're aiming for too. Like people who wail because they want the girls more than they want the actual cards. But it's surprisingly in depth with the skill system. I remember seeing Gigi play it, and there's like a whole skill board and everything. And depending on which units you pick will determine like what direction you go on the skill board or something like that. It's actually interesting. I had to see myself. But based on the surface level, it kind of reminded me of Final Fantasy X, which was not what I expect from a skill board for a rhythm game. If I wasn't set on finishing the book so quickly, probably not to get spoiled. I get that. I get that. We should add blood to our shoes. There we go. Kind of reminds me too when I had to jump off the internet to play Tears of the Kingdom so I don't get spoiled. Still get spoiled from Tears of the Kingdom anyways. Spoilers are rough. Go. All right. I think this one's done. I don't know which dead space this is. I'm just going to choose a logo. Go. I did read about 20 already. Didn't start that long ago. Making good progress. That's good to hear. I feel like Grim, you could be the type of person that not Grim. Plague, you could be the type of person that does like book reviews. Seems like you do pretty well with reading, and you seem to be pretty good with like, you know, verbosing like what you like about the story and not. Honestly, you seem like you'd be a good reviewer. Food review. There we go. Alright, let me go send this to both of these to the client and see how they like it. And I'm done! We did it! I finished 2 of the commissions on stream. Well, not that one though. I didn't get to that one actually, funny enough. I could if I wasn't too shy. It's a skill to work on. But I do think you have the capabilities of doing so. Both reading, in terms of reading books really quickly, as well as talking about them. Nice job! Thank you! Thank you! It just takes time to... what's it called? I'm also shy, funny enough. You wouldn't be able to tell with how I stream, but I'm a very shy person. Alright, let me go send this to the client. Alright. I guess I could work on the raccoon one. I was gonna have my assistant do it for me, but yeah. Alright, send this over. Here's how they came out. Anything need revising? Crack open a water? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna crack myself a cold one with the boys! But yeah, I'm gonna jump off here. Thank you guys for coming. I'm gonna make some dinner, then I'm gonna make my way to Walmart to buy some supplies because I need to buy some. I gotta buy some clog cleaners. I gotta buy some dishwasher detergent. I gotta buy myself some cookies. Those lemon cookies for $2. Great deal. You get so much lemon cookies, and I love lemon cookies. Yeah, I'm gonna jump off here. Thank you guys for coming. It was fun. Tomorrow, Minecraft Mcsaturday? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Possibly Minecraft Mcsaturday? We might be hitting Minecraft Mcsaturday. Minecraft, maybe? Question mark, question mark. I tried to make some videos, but got self-conscious and I got deleted. Here's the thing. You should just like post them, even if they're not good. You're never gonna... Your first video... Here's the thing. Your first video, your first stream, the first thing you're ever gonna make is 100% going to be shit. And you have to accept that. And that's what gets you started. I had to accept that my first stream was going to be completely garbage. And it was! Looking back at it, it was completely garbage! But you have to come to terms that you won't be perfect the first time. And it'll be pretty bad, right? But you have to improve on what you do. You know? That's the important part. The first one could be garbage, but if you learn from it, then that's good. You have to ask yourself, why is it garbage? Alright, that's my bit of insight. And that's the same with anything in the world, right? Whether you want to pick up drawing or you want to be a cook or anything like that, the first thing you're ever going to do is garbage. but you can only go up from there. Thank you guys for coming! Hopefully see you guys tomorrow! Hopefully Minecraft McSaturday! Maybe not? Maybe Minecraft McFlurry Sunday? I'm not very brave. Bravery is a skill that you have to build up. That's the thing. It's also experience skilled, so until you start exposing yourself to it, you can't get braver. I post videos without thinking what the audience would think. That's their problem. Yeah, that's their problem. You just gotta do things. As famous Shia LaBeouf would said, just probably you could do it. You should probably do it. Maybe do it. Just maybe try it. Just do it. Do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just